As a great man once said, a great man that we're going to talk about very shortly, everything woke turns to shit. Yeah, well, guess what? Old Puddinhead here, Joint Chiefs of Staff General Mark Milley. We talked about it yesterday, very briefly, and I thought it was a pretty big story when it was rumored to be as such, but no, it's been confirmed at this point, which is just wonderful, and we'll get to that confirmation shortly as well, but Trump had a little take on this, and considering it's fairly important, he's directly affected by this, Trump on dumbass Milley. Actions should be taken immediately for secret call with China. Very much so. Like I said, if you're planning a full-out attack, you should just, give your opponent a heads up. You don't tell them exactly what your fucking plans are going to be if you are, in fact, going to be heading to war. That's not your call, buddy. You are not the commander-in-chief. Sure, you're the head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, but you're also not the guy in charge, okay? As much as you want to be, as much deep state uniparty power as you think you have, you don't got it, and you're never going to get it. Former President Donald Trump castigated Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Mark Milley, in a statement on Tuesday after a new book alleges he had taken secret action to limit the president's authority in the wake of January 6 and told China that he would give them advance notice if the U.S. were to attack it. There's a lot of stuff coming out of this supposed book, which, until it's actually confirmed, you gotta take with a grain of salt, because there was something about stupid Ivana Trump, not Ivana, who knows where she's at. No, Ivanka Trump getting into the White House saying, "Dad, you need to give this up. We can't continue to go forward with this baseless assertion that the election was stolen." It's like, okay, I'll believe it when I see it. So again, I don't like to run with rumors unless they're substantiated, but hey, we're one for about 3 of the ones that are circulating out there right now. The rest of them are of the Ivanka level of importance. The book also alleged that Milley held 2 secret phone calls with his Chinese counterpart 4 days before the 2020 election. Oh, okay. And after January 6th, to reassure him that the U.S. would not attack China, and if it did, he would alert them immediately. Okay, Trump blasted Milley in a statement. If the story of dumbass General Mark Milley, the same failed leader who engineered the worst withdrawal from the country, facts, Afghanistan in a U.S. history, leaving behind many dead and wounded soldiers, many American citizens, and $85 billion worth of the newest and most sophisticated military equipment in the world, and our country's reputation is true, then I assume he would be tried for treason, and that he would have been dealing with his Chinese counterpart behind the president's back and telling China that he would be giving them notification of an attack. What a run-on sentence, Trump. Come on now. Can't do that. The good news is the story is fake news, concocted by a weak and ineffective general, together with 2 authors who I refuse to give an interview to because they write fiction, not fact. Action should be taken immediately against Milley and better generals in our military, of which we have many, should be involved so that another Afghanistan disaster can never happen again. Remember, I was the one who took out 100% of the ISIS caliphate. Hey, got el-Baghdadi. He died like a dog. Milley said it couldn't be done. For the record, I've never thought of attacking China, and China knows that. Exactly. And if they were to reciprocate the favor, they would be met with, yes, fire and fury. The people that fabricated the story are sick and demented, and the people who print it are just as bad. In fact, I'm the only president in decades who didn't get the U.S. into a war, a well-known fact that is seldom reported. But what about Jimmy Carter? Yeah, we're all well aware of him. The comparisons with the current administration are fast and they're furious, just like another one of those previous Biden scandals. Anywho, Biden's got Milley's back. Hopefully he doesn't fall or anything, because that's a big fucker, and Joe doesn't look that strong anymore. Biden stands by Milley after reports of secret phone call with Chinese general. Of course he does. President Biden is standing by General Mark Milley. My mistake. The top military officer in the United States, following reports that Milley secret called a Chinese general during former President Donald Trump's administration. But I didn't know about the phone call before the election, but isn't that interesting? Following reports alleging Milley called General Li Zuocheng of the People's Liberation Army once in 2020 and another time in January to assure him that the United States wouldn't attack the Chinese Communist Party, and if they were poised to attack, he would alert his counterpart. While Republicans describe the actions of Milley as treasonous, if they indeed took place, Biden is backing the Trump appointee. I have great confidence in Milley, Biden told reporters in Washington on September 15th. His brief comment, that's all he delivers, which didn't touch on a veracity of allegations, came after White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki, yeah, she came out with a fucking banger, now didn't she? Told reporters separately that the president was standing by the general even if the calls did happen. Psaki said Biden says that Milley is a swell guy with a great reputation. Yeah, sure, but Biden couldn't vocalize that because, I don't know, maybe his lucidity was running low on the day. Believes that Milley is patriotic and that his fidelity to our Constitution is unquestionable. Unless, of course, he has questions. Then he'll sell out to the Chinese. That's what makes him a perfect fit for the Biden administration. She claimed the context of the calls allegedly took place was important, accusing Trump of fomenting an insurrection. Really, bitch? Really? You're going to throw that out there? Okay, cool. Referring to January 6th and that there's a broad concern about the many members of his national security team, most of which you kept on board. Nothing fucked about that now, is there? But I'd consider that to be treason. Conspiring, planning to conspire with the Chinese, one of your devoted foes in the world. And you don't have to take it from me. Retired Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Vindman and several other ex-military leaders calling for General Milley to resign if he told China he'd send a warning if U.S. was planning attack. It is an extremely dangerous precedent. You can't simply walk away from that. Pretty much. Alexander Vindman is calling on Joint Chiefs of Staff Mark Milley to resign, and the claims of a new book are true that he went behind then President Donald Trump's back to compromise China to warn them if the U.S. planned an attack. If it is true, General Milley must resign, the retired lieutenant colonel tweeted on Tuesday, along with an article about the new book Peril, which claims Milley was fearful Trump might spark war with China in the wake of his November election defeat to Joe Biden. He usurped civilian authority, broke chain of command, and violated the sacrosanct principle of civilian control over the military. Boy, is this guy an ideologue. Was he describing a phone call? Or was that the vaccine mandate? Or is it one of many other unpopular decisions by the Biden administration so far? I don't know. Milley spokesperson Colonel David Butler on Wednesday essentially confirmed the call, saying the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff regularly communicates with the chiefs of defense across the world, including with China and Russia. His calls with the Chinese and others in October and January were in keeping with these duties and responsibilities, conveying reassurances in order to maintain strategic stability. Sounds like a confirmation to me. Retired Lieutenant Colonel Buzz Patterson, an aide during Bill Clinton's administration who protected the nuclear football, said it is not Milley's job to make a decision on a civilian-controlled military. Yeah, you poor guys. You still believe in the institution of the military and that it hasn't been compromised. That sucks. At least he has a pretty cool Twitter avatar, I guess. But how about Blinken? Okay. Yeah, this dude's still testifying in front of the Senate, and in front of Congress, rather. And, what's going to come out of this? Don't know. But Blinken says the U.S. doesn't know who was killed in the Kabul drone strike, but it was two high-ranking members of ISIS-K, right? What are the names again? We can't release that, but we know that they're high-level, okay? And now we don't know who it is. A review is forthcoming, though, and somebody's going to take responsibility for it. You think anybody's going to take responsibility for it? Survey says, yeah, I don't think so. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said on Tuesday that he doesn't know at this stage whether the U.S. drone strike in Kabul, Afghanistan last month killed a suspected member of the ISIS-K terrorist group or an Afghan aid worker and his family. I think you could probably tell the difference, especially from the high-definition camera that's on the drone itself, but Okay. The guy, the Biden administration, my mistake, had droned, he was an aid worker or an ISIS-K operative. Rand Paul, yes, this was a little excerpt we had, just a little bumper we had in between stories yesterday, asked Blinken during a Senate Foreign Relations Committee hearing on the Afghanistan withdrawal. The Kentucky senator was referring to a report by the New York Times. Why are they turning on Biden all of a sudden? It's almost like they have a big fucking legal problem on their hands that they're gonna need help with in the court of public opinion to push against the radical Project Veritas suing them for defamation. I hope to God James O'Keefe is successful. But the New York Times, anyways, that the drone strike mistakenly struck Zamari Amahadi, a 43-year-old worker for Nutrition and Education International, a California-based aid group. What a basic fucking name. I'm sure that was probably just a fucking money laundering operation, whatever. Blinken replied, "The administration is, of course, reviewing that strike. I'm sure that a full assessment will be forthcoming." So you don't know if it was an aid worker or an ISIS-K operative, Paul asked. I don't know because we're reviewing it. We just kill brown people in the Middle East. Is this like the 2012 all over again? Are we just back to the fucking Obama era? It comes after Captain Bill Urban, a Central Command spokesperson, confirmed on August 29th, a day after the strike, that the United States is investigating reports of civilian casualties. Urban said at the time that while the U.S.-led counterterrorism drone attack disrupted an imminent ISIS-K threat to Kabul's international airport, you can actually hear the winks and nods that he was giving for that. We would be deeply saddened by any potential loss of innocent life. I don't know, warning them that, okay, we're going to cause some loss of innocent life, but it would be a tragedy if it were to happen. Anywho, what has Blinken actually done? He's confirmed that child brides evacuated with older men from Afghanistan. It's really hard to say that Democrats aren't pedophiles, but non sequitur. Secretary of State Tony Blinken confirmed, that's disrespectful, come on now, confirmed reports during a Senate hearing on Tuesday that young children were transported from Afghanistan with older men as child brides. We got 49,000 people out of Afghanistan. But what about the Americans that are still there, and what about the Afghan? We got 49,000 people out of there, child brides included. Maybe Biden was thinking that those brides had friends for him to sniff later. Easy joke, it was a layup. During the hearing, Senator Ted Cruz grilled Blinken about the numbers, citing data from the World Health Organization that over 50% of wives in Afghanistan were married as child brides. Ugh. Blinken said he did not know the exact number of underage girls, but he's very interested in finding out, who were evacuated with older men, or how many were separated by officials after they landed. Well, with spatulas? What are we talking? Cruz cited reports of the State Department documentation seeking urgent guidance from other agencies about the issue of child brides when they were brought to Fort McCoy in Wisconsin, noting that tens of thousands of Afghans were evacuated from the Kabul airport. Yeah, don't worry about it, though. That's just their culture, and there's nothing wrong with that. Every culture is beautiful. Every culture is the same. It's fucking sick and degenerate, and you should just take the guys who have the child brides, put them back on the plane, except for instead of, strapping them down, strap them on the wing. I don't know. I think you can really solve a problem. You can go back over there, you can get the people that you're still missing, and you can also get rid of a bunch of pedophiles. I think it's a win-win situation. But Joe's not slowing down. Oh, because literally if he slowed down anymore, he'd be going in reverse. But, he's been pretty absent from, taking any responsibility on the Middle East, or other than saying, I support General Milley, well, just aimlessly shuffling into a fucking closet so he doesn't have to take any questions. He's going to be meeting with top executives on COVID-19 vaccine mandate for private businesses, right? Any business over 100 people, you have to get the jab. That's really, really, really looking like a soft way of socializing and collectivizing the means of production. Tell them what to do strictly from the government, but remember, guys, private businesses can do whatever they want. President Joe Biden on Wednesday will meet with executives from Walgreens, Walt Disney, and Microsoft to discuss his administration's recently announced COVID-19 vaccine mandate. I think you still get tested every week. It's not a mandate. Fucking dickheads. For private businesses, Brad Smith, president of Microsoft. What a generic name, and I didn't even know that was the president of Microsoft. Bob Chapek, CEO of Walt Disney. Probably thought he was the smartest guy in the room. Tim Boyle, president and CEO of Columbia Sportswear. Wow, what a steep drop-off. And Roz Brewer, CEO of Walgreens Boots Alliance. Okay. Are among the business leaders who are scheduled to be at the meeting, according to White House officials. Biden last week said businesses would have to impose vaccine requirements or face fines of up to $13,600 per violation. Where do you come up with that number? I don't know, man. It has a good ring to it. 13. How old I like my women. The order is going to come through the Occupational Safety and Health Administration. White House officials have said, yeah, cool, it violates so many policies, but okay, you go ahead and try it. You're going to anyways. Boyle told news outlets in Portland, Oregon, where the company is based, no shit, that he was pleased with the pending mandate. I'm sure he already had one in place for his workers, so this was just kind of redundant. If the company is going to be back to normal operating conditions, I could just lift restrictions and we could just go back to normal. But anyways, if our country and the globe is going to be back to normal operating conditions, we need to get many, many more people vaccinated. Because remember, I seen this meme. It was actually pretty funny. It said, make sure you take your vitamins first thing in the morning. Otherwise, the vitamins that I took won't work. Like, this is the thought process of these absolute fucking mental midgets that are out here. I've got vaccinated. I wear my mask all the time. If you don't do it, you're putting everybody at risk. It's like, no, I've seen the studies. I've seen the evidence. And hey, if that's how you want to live your life, that's cool. Go for it. But when it starts to affect me, when it starts to affect other people, when it starts affecting brown people getting drone striked for no good fucking reason and then lying about it, and then sacrificing the security and compromising the stability of the United States against a nuclear fucking powerhouse, that's a problem. And then this administration, only 8 months into its fucking 4-year stay, keeps tossing responsibility to the side like Bill Clinton does with interns. It's a bit fucking troubling, to say the fucking least. We're in for a tough one. Let's talk about some funny stuff. It's not really that fun. Actually, I feel bad about calling it funny. So, I'll just between us, if you get to the end of this video and you want to hop on to the next one. There was unfortunately a lot of hopping in that one, and it wasn't appropriate. So, with that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.